Hey, what's going on? Miguel, host of Life Full Circle Radio. And let me get in the middle here a little bit. Camera off a little bit. And welcome to the show. It's Tuesday, and so the summer is almost over. Me running around in these streets with the family and stuff is going to slow down here a little bit. So we'll be back on our regularly on Monday. But in the meantime, tragic news this week. Actually, was it yesterday? I think it was. Jamal Warner, world known as Theo from the Cosby Show, passed away. He was with his family vacation, I believe, in Costa Rica, and he drowned. Still processing that. Just doesn't make sense to me. It's just, just when somebody who I didn't know him, but I knew Theo. We all knew Theo. Came into our house every Thursday night, and we watched him grow up. And he was not one of those weird Hollywood people who turned into a weirdo once he got there. He kept working. He's got a music career. He got into poetry. Continued to perform in the arts. He just was doing his thing, and he was just being a good dude. And so he's passed away. The Epstein files and Trump, I think, is just a mass distraction. I really don't care because it's not going to result in much, but it's what everybody's talking about. So we'll talk about it a little bit. The WNBA players want to get paid. They're at the max. They're at the highest level of popularity they've ever been. And of course, all the bros, all the internet bros are talking about how they haven't made any money. They've never made any money. And why do they think they should get paid? They just signed a $2.2 billion broadcast deal. There's 5 new teams coming into the WNBA in the next 5 years. Somebody thinks they're worth it. And so we'll talk about that. Jacksonville man beaten by the JSO police, Jacksonville, Florida. Man was beaten drug out of his car, broke his window, and then put his face down in what looks like it could have been glass. What? And we're going to talk about what are we watching. Make sure you follow us on them social media streets. I'm hanging out in, Threads a lot more now, staying away from them Twitter streets because there ain't nothing positive over there for me. But you can catch me here on the YouTubes and on the Facebooks and all of that. Tell your friends. Let's go. Super producer.
What's up? Happy Tuesday.
Yeah, happy Tuesday. And Super producer is fancy now. She's got an arm for her microphone.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Rhonda.
I'm not talking about you naming a plant. I'm not
Rhonda.
talking about you renaming a plant.
Rhonda.
Jesus, man, Joseph. All right. So anyway, so what's going on in the crib? So you came kind of close to us, but we were coming and going and coming and.
I know.
Let me just tell you, when we haven't talked since we went to Kentucky, right? We haven't done.
No, you guys are super busy.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we went to Kentucky. Girls did well out there. Oh, by the way, one day they had to shut down the whole tournament because there was a shooting at the tournament. So in Louisville, Kentucky, it's the biggest girls basketball tournament. And nationally, it's 88 courts, 88 courts. It's 2,200 teams between two tournaments. And so it's a crap load of people there. And then supposedly they tried to say it was only they were searching for an agitator and they had long guns and people running through. And, they were saying they didn't really say, well, it wasn't really a shooting. It was a tile that fell out the ceiling and caused the alarm to go off. And people were running this video of people running and getting trampled out of the venue. But the show must go on. We had games the next day. And so, but the girls did well there. And then we came home and then a couple of days, then we were back playing at a tournament here in Atlanta. So we've been busy and then we got this last one coming up. But anyway, as we mentioned, tragic story coming out the gate with the show today. Jamal Warner and it's not the guy who played Urkel, which I think it's Variety or one other magazine posted that. It's either Us Weekly or Variety. I'll pull it up so you can see that nonsense. They posted a picture of Urkel saying it was Jamal Warner. But Jamal Warner, who we all know and love, and he was just one of those dudes, man. He's one of those dudes that you knew if you saw him in them streets. You saw him, he was always going to give you some love. He's always going to show you. Everybody either has a house here in Atlanta or they live in Atlanta or you see him around. And many people I know who are here, they've got pictures. It's all over the world. But you're a little bit younger than me. What does Jamal Warner mean to you?
The same as everybody else. I may be young, but, I still watch The Cosby Show. I wasn't an
Hmm.
adult when The Cosby Show was out. I was a little kid, but I still
Hmm.
watched. I still remember episodes. I still have my favorite episodes. And what annoys me, and I know that's so weird to say right now, is that people only remember him from The Cosby Show when he had a really great acting career after that, had some pretty memorable roles. I mean, he was on The Resident. He was also recently on, he had like a whole season arc on, um, is it 911? Yeah, it's 911. I always get the procedural shows 911. He has been on multiple shows doing
Hmm.
multiple things,
Hmm.
acting, living his life in a way that is not crazy public, but he gets to express himself the way he wants when he wants.
The
And
man won a
that
Grammy
always stood out to
with
me.
Robert Glasper. He won a Grammy as a poet. Um, it's just so many people who had such glowing things to say have said on social media about Malcolm Jamal Warner. It just, and this is actually, I'm gonna play this because this is um, actually Bill Cosby. He had some things to say about.
Ew.
Being a teenager.
When's the last time you spoke to him?
3 months ago, what we talked about was something he was very proud of. He had done a concert in Minnesota with symphony, and there was something he had written, but he was very proud of what he had done and what he had said, and it was about living in America.
Have you spoken to Miss Felicia Rashad? Have you guys talked about this?
Yes, we have, and we were embracing each other over the phone about a dearly beloved friend.
I wanted to make sure I had an opportunity to talk to you about
it's just
Malcolm Jamal Warner.
very
What do you
difficult
want people to remember
situation.
about him?
Care about none of that. I don't care what anything that he has to say. I really don't. I do want to discuss actually what happened because the police report has been released. Warner was swimming with his 8-year-old daughter on Sunday when surfers spotted them struggling and dove in to help. A surfer used his board to bring Warner's daughter to safety, and a volunteer lifeguard pulled Warner another surfer to the shore, where Warner was given 45 minutes of CPR, according to police. Police told ABC News on Tuesday that an autopsy on Warner had been completed. The forensic pathology department said the autopsy confirmed that Warner's death, which was described as asphyxiation by submersion, was accidental. So let me be clear. People may not know this. I'm someone who travels. My family travels. There are certain beaches where there are warnings out, where it's really just for surfers. It's not so much for you to dive in and have fun in the water. And I don't know if they had gotten swept up in a riptide, because this beach apparently was known
That's
for a
what I'm
riptide, or if
hearing.
they were
That was
out
a
on a
riptide.
boat.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some of these beaches, and I feel like there needs to be more warnings on these beaches that this is not for swimming. This is just for looking, unless you have a surfboard and you are a trained advanced swimmer. If you are not, just look and wait from the shore, because that's what happened. He got caught him and his daughter got caught in the riptide, and I am
Hold on. Does it
so
hit? His daughter didn't pass away. I have not heard
no,
that.
his daughter did not
Okay.
pass away. The
Okay.
daughter was able to be rescued by a surfer.
Mm.
Another surfer went in to get Malcolm Jamal Warner, and then the surfer and the guy had to be, and Malcolm Jamal Warner had to be rescued, and they tried to revive him and they couldn't. So it's just really really sad. But I am glad that the daughter is safe. I mean
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
we would hate to have another Kobe and Gianna situation where father and
Yeah.
daughter leave this earth.
It's interesting that you said that because I have not processed this quite yet. I'm processing it, which is part of the reason why I'm here today, right? Because it really feels like that Kobe situation. Because
Mhm.
he was a young guy, relatively. Kobe's younger than us, but Malcolm was a couple of years older than me. And you think about, you got so much life left to live. You feel like you have so much life left to live, and then you're gone. I talk so much about my kids and what we do together and all of that,
Yeah.
and I just can't imagine, my kids having to deal with life, without me, without me being here to serve and be there and watch them grow, and grandkids and all that, and an 8-year-old
Absolutely.
child. So he was, he was relatively new dad. It's just tough, man. It's just I'm seeing stuff from Regina, everybody from Regina King, who I believe they once dated, and
To Adam Sandler. I didn't know
Adam
him and Adam
Sandler.
Sandler were best friends. Like,
Well, and that's one of those things where Adam Sandler, as a young actor, was on the Cosby Show. That the Cosby Show opened up so many doors for so many people, and it wasn't just black folk. Adam Sandler was a young actor at the time, and he talked about how great his relationship was with his mother and all of that.
Malcolm was so nice to me when I was on the show, and we had such good times together. I was probably 18, and Malcolm was probably 17, 16, I don't know. And we would take walks together, all of us, and pick up food, talk, play basketball, hung out on the weekends, went to parties together. He was so good to me as a person, and his mom was amazing to and I'm just sending my love to the family. Malcolm was a true great person, hilarious, smart kid, and meant a lot to America.
News did break today of the untimely passing of Malcolm Jamal.
I can't believe it.
And you got your start on the Cosby Show.
Malcolm was so nice to me
So
when I was on the show.
it's just tough, man.
We
It's
had
tough,
such
and so we
good
try to
times together.
celebrate
I was.
folks while they're here. So there's that. So we'll keep an eye on how things will go with that, and I'm pretty sure we'll start to see more reruns and stuff of work. I never watched The Resident. I always said I wanted to check out it because it was him.
it's good.
Because it was
It's
him.
good.
You know what I mean? It was him. And so I said, hey, I need to check that out. Because Malcolm, anything, in music and everything, I would give it a shot. So, all right. So let's move on. What are we talking about next? Let's see. All right. Barack Obama has listened. What is wrong?
I'm hearing, I don't know who's messing with the wall. I hear something behind me. This is my bedroom wall. I'm trying to see what little kid has snuck in there to like steal stuff. Anyway, there's one more death that we do have to talk about, even though Miguel does not want to talk about this, and that is the death of Ozzy Osborne. The rock legend actually passed away today at the age of 76. He actually looked a lot older than that.
I don't know why he said I didn't want to talk about him because okay. RIP to Ozzy Osborne fans. All I remember about Ozzy Osborne is back in the 80s and 90s when he was known for biting off the head of a rat doing a performance. And I know that he used to have a reality show that was really popular. Not our audience, but go ahead and finish your Ozzy Osborne tribute.
It's just sad in general. I mean, he may not have meant anything to the black community, unless, the few black rockers out there, but he did mean something to the rock community. He is one of those founding fathers of heavy metal. He's one of those type of people. And I feel bad because he just wrapped up his farewell tour because he was never going to tour again because of sickness and health and everything. And he had just wrapped it up on the last day of his tour. He was sitting there with his wife, and his daughter got proposed to by her longtime boyfriend and partner. So all these things were kind of coming to fruition for him just to go be a grandpa and go sit in a chair. And then he dies, and it's just kind of sad. And I can't say he's going to glory. We don't know where he's going. He's going somewhere.
We don't know where anybody's going. We're not going to sit up here and do that. But Ozzy he lived. Let's just say he lived. He lived life how he wanted to live life from what we could tell. And so prayers for his family, for his grieving family in this moment, for sure.
All right.
So Donald Trump and his folks, I just, yeah. So I had it pulled up a second ago. So now we're going after.
You want me to start?
We're going after Barack Obama, huh? Is that what we're doing?
Well, let's start from where all this stemmed from. President Donald Trump continues to rage over the Jeffery Epstein case Friday after the Wall Street Journal published a bawdy birthday letter. I have not heard that word in a while. He allegedly wrote to the disgraced financier decades ago, prompting the president to threaten suit against the newspaper and instruct Attorney General Bondi to unseal grand jury testimony in the Epstein case. The Wall Street Journal report comes after a week of turmoil over the Epstein case among MAGA circles, which have fractured over the Trump administration's handling of the investigation into the convicted sex offender, while the president repeatedly sought to downplay the whole ordeal. Here's what happened. Does everybody remember when Trump got elected the second time and all those goobers walked out of the White House holding up those Epstein files saying, look, we've got the list. We can't wait to release it. We can't wait to release it. And then they started investigating his quote unquote, suicide. We can't wait to release it. And then all of a sudden, a month and a half ago, oh, there's nothing here. Oh, there is no client list. Oh, there's nothing in those files. We closed the case. He committed suicide. Nothing. And everybody was like, what are you all talking about? And it has just snowballed from there. And I know, Miguel, if you want to bring up the other story about now Obama and the Russia hoax, it's gone into crazy land once again.
But the thing about it that makes me not really give two rats about this is because all the crap that this administration has done and are doing. There's a story about them burning some 500 million tons or some ridiculous number of food to go to poor people instead of feeding folk. You've got, healthcare going by the wayside. So many things that are happening. And this is what people are focused on, is what he did on this island with this. You're muted for some reason. I can't hear you.
I pressed the button on accident. We knew it was going to be something stupid that fractures this community. It wasn't going to be some, you're taking our health care, you're taking our housing, you're taking our jobs. It was going to be something dumb like this. And I think it's not so much that the Epstein files were not released. I think it's just a stack of lies on top of lies that MAGA is starting to realize that he lied to us about. Okay, yeah, he lied to us about Medicaid. Yeah, he lied. Those are small. But he lied about what everybody's saying. He's lying about pedophilia. And that seems to be everybody's line in the sand, which is great. I appreciate that that's the line in the sand. But why you making the face? Why?
Because these people don't care. This ain't real. What's real is him trying to steal 5 seats in Texas. That's what's real. Gerrymandering and trying to steal 5 seats in Texas. And he telling everybody, hey, we're just trying to pick up 5 seats in Texas. We're going to redraw the lines in Texas, pick up 5 seats in Texas. But keep going. To me, this is all bait and switch.
Is it bait and switch? Because who put the bait out?
They put the bait out.
Who did?
Trump and his team. Why would they put it out right now with all this other stuff going down?
But they didn't put it out.
They control it all right now. What do you mean they didn't put it out?
Because now what's his name? Dan Bongino?
Whatever. The guy was with the FBI and whatever.
Yep. So he has not been seen nor heard of because he has been threatening to quit. And he seems to be very serious about it and very upset and has been talking to different circles about it. Kash Patel also wants to quit now. So if you're putting this story out there to distract people, this is the dumbest distraction. There's other distractions they could have done. He could have tried to assassinate himself again. That's a good distraction. That's a working distraction.
They already did that.
They did it twice. They could have done it the third time.
Did it twice in like 2 months. I think they've already spent that. They've already played the big joker. The big joker, and they're like on the king and queen of spades right now.
There's other things he can do than say that he's siding with Jeffrey Epstein almost. How does that help your political capital? Honestly.
It's distractions. There's no elections coming up no time soon. People will forget about this next week. People will forget about this by football season. Yes. But while the big problems that are going on right now with the House Speaker Johnson not letting them vote before they go on August recess, you even deal with the Epstein stuff. So it's going to be another month. Yeah, you're dripping over there. It'll be another month that they're going to not even talk about this, right? And so what are the consequences? So let me ask you this. What potential consequences as he got ICE all over here snatching up people and, police feeling emboldened to go out and break out people's windows and punch them in the face and all the things that are going on with this administration. He's talking about now going to sanctuary cities. I saw Tom Homan on one of the morning shows on Sunday, and they basically saying we're going into all sanctuary cities and we're going to flood the zone. That's military term.
Voldemort.
Huh?
He is Voldemort. He is Voldemort. That guy is Voldemort from Harry Potter. Listen, I do think that some of this stuff is distraction, but I think the real distractions that Trump is trying to do is trying to get the Redskins to rename their team.
Distraction.
That to me that's a Trump distraction. I think the other stuff that's happening is his stuff. This is a distraction. This is the dumbest distraction.
All distractions.
But these are distractions that he's trying to manufacture. The Epstein files coming out, ICE raids going to garbage, left, right, and sideways. I mean, it's gotten to the point now where people are, when they see ICE coming, they're now screaming out and clapping to get pigeons to alert the neighborhood that ICE is here, hide everybody. Like, it's not going well. His approval rating is not good. The base is fractured. He is now calling his own base stupid.
Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's just say all this stuff makes a difference. Let's just say it gets so bad that Donald Trump decides with his fat ankles that he's going to retire.
Not his fat ankles.
JD Vance is what's up next.
Not with a brown wife.
If he retires tomorrow, JD Vance will be president for the next 3 years.
Yes, but he will not get the support of Trump because of one simple reason. Because his wife is brown.
It don't matter. It doesn't matter. He can continue the work that he's doing that they've already got in place. We're looking at this thing like the election is next year. The election, best case scenario, if they don't push off the midterm elections in 2026, there could be some issues come 2026 for him. Other than that, they're going to continue to tear this country apart. And I'll just sit back and it's like, this is crazy.
And it is crazy. And like, people who watch my channel, watch the show, know that I have many jobs as a freelancer. I got to keep money coming in constantly. I also work for I'm the customer relations manager for my cousin's catering company. She called me this afternoon so upset because groceries have gone up so much that her as a caterer, we're having to change our entire business model to make sure that the business can stay afloat, because we know the everyday person can't afford catering anymore, not like they used to, a year ago, 2 years ago, because everything is so expensive that we have to raise prices. Like, there are real consequences.
That's the real story. The real stories are that this is not a real story, but it's on the ABC News. House Republicans advance a proposal to rename the Kennedy Opera House after Melania Trump. Distractions.
That's a distraction. I agree. And I don't even think that's something Melania wants. We all know Melania hates him.
Who cares what Melania wants? Trump don't care what Melania wants. He wants Trump's name on everything.
I wish she would divorce him. I wish I knew what he has over her that's making her stay in this marriage.
The man has buried one of his wives in his yard. If that ain't gangster.
But no, and this is a different scenario for Melania. I feel like Melania knows where the actual bodies are buried now. All the bad stuff that he's done now. She knows where they are. Like, why isn't she not saying,
Did you not just hear me say that he buried one of his ex-wives in the yard?
And she knows where there's other. I feel like she has more information than Ivana had. Was her name Ivana or Ivanka?
I don't know. The thing about it, and I understand this is your way of trying to find some silver lining in this whole situation. I am, we are in this is an old Thanos script, and there are no Avengers coming.
The fact that they brought up that, Obama is, they've come up with all this information, it was a Russia hoax, and then people read what they put out, and they're just like, well, this is what we already knew. This isn't a hoax. This is all stuff that was never hidden or anything like that. And what does Obama do? Go on a podcast to his wife talking about they not getting divorced. Like, I'm glad Obama is not giving this any attention or any light. He is continuing to do his thing because this is a joke. Tulsi Gabbard, talk about a fall from grace. I mean, have you, Jesus, her and Nikki Haley?
These bizarre allegations are ridiculous and a weak attempt at distraction.
Is Nikki Haley and Tulsi Gabbard's fall from grace not something for the ages?
You think I give a shit about Nikki Haley?
I do. See, you're always against Republican women. It's so
not about Republican women. He has used up so many people along this path. Like all the blacks for Trump. Where are they? Where is Nikki Haley? Where is, God knows, he used so many of these people along the path and have tossed them to the trash. And a lot of them are sitting back like, and what's your boy McDreamy out of Wisconsin that you used to always talk about? what is his name? Ryan.
Oh,
Yeah. I mean, like, he just disappeared from politics altogether. He said, man, I'm good. I'm going to sit back here, get me a little lobbying gig, make my paper,
he sits on
raise
the
my
board for
kids,
Fox
and move
News.
on. Huh?
He sits on the board for Fox News.
Okay. And then here's the thing. Now, here's what's interesting. This is interesting. That he is suing the Wall Street Journal for some ridiculous $80-something million
Paul
is
Ryan.
what Paul Ryan. He is suing the Wall Street Journal for, I think it's $80-something million. See if you can pull that up. Now, I've always said this, and I've said this on the show. We've done 1,000 shows. I've always said on this show that I felt that Trump's method of communication has always been based in wrestling. I think that's the reason why he keeps the wrestling people around him. Because am I convinced that Trump is beefing with Elon Musk? Am I not? Do I think that at the drop of a hat, if he drops him a big enough check, they'll be friends again? Abso-freaking-lutely. So now you have a situation where the Wall Street Journal publishes this article. The Trump administration jumps on their back. The word has it that Fox News didn't run any story about the article. It was top news for everybody else. They didn't halfway run it all. But the Wall Street Journal is owned by part of the people. So you think about the people who helped him get in office. You talk about Elon Musk and you talk about Rupert Murdoch. And now he's supposed to be beefing with them. Who else does he have to use? who have carried his water? At this point, I just.
But here's the funny thing. The Wall Street Journal people, because JD Vance came out and said, oh, what they did was illegal and you're not supposed to do that. Come to find out, the Wall Street Journal called him and said, hey, we're going to publish this article. You can comment on it. Here's what we got, whatever. Trump got really, really upset, ended the call. And they were like, well, we told him that was his comment. We're going to publish it. He had already threatened to sue them. And they were like, go ahead and sue us. Because then you have to prove that this isn't real. We can prove that this is real and it's been authenticated.
Right.
And there's another side of the story that nobody is talking about that actually just came out a couple hours ago, is that he has been saying that the Epstein files are all fake. The client list is fake. None of these things happened, which means Ghislaine's Maxwell's case can be overturned if none of these things happened or existed. Trump literally came out and said he is open to having a conversation with this woman. And she could very well, if all this stuff is fake and none of these things happened, then she didn't technically do anything wrong and she could be released. People aren't talking about that enough. This woman trafficked young girls for her boyfriend that she was with for decades. Why is anybody talking about that part?
Because people don't care. People are selfish. This is not something that people are going to put a lot of energy behind unless the Democrats bring it back up and there's somebody, unless Obama or Clinton or somebody's on the list. As long as Trump or anybody on that side is on the list, they're going to make excuses.
Clinton's on the list. We know Clinton's on the list.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's part of the reason probably why the list didn't come out during the Obama years or the Biden years, whenever it was. So I'm just, all this stuff is just rich people playing in our faces. That's all it is. They just sit up here laughing and kikiing and just saying nothing is going to happen. So we just got to keep it moving, man. I just look at this stuff and I'm just like, it's whatever. So what else you got before we move off from this circular conversation?
Let's talk about how the WNBA. Listen, WNBA girlies, I love you. You're talented, but you're a little delusional. But I love you. You're talented. I love you. You're talented. You deserve the world.
Tell me why they're delusional.
The WNBA doesn't have any money.
The WNBA does.
Before you make that face, I am not saying these women do not deserve money. They absolutely do. They have brought, like you said, they have brought in more eyes, more merch sales, more endorsement deals. Heck, I feel like the WNBA was more popular than the NBA this year. Am I wrong?
You're wrong, but it's fine that you're wrong.
That they were more popular than the NBA this year?
They were absolutely not more popular than the NBA. Stop.
They were. He doesn't want to be on my side, and I'm fine with it.
Stop.
I'm okay with it.
So here's the thing. So that's the latest thing. The latest thing is, the bros are sitting in their basements and they're talking about how that the WNBA doesn't have any money, they're not making any money. How dare they ask for more money? Here's the thing, guys. It's simple math, right? If they just signed a $2.2 billion television media rights deal, and they're adding 5 new teams in the next 5 years, and all these women are asking for is more revenue share. They just want right now they're getting, from what I read, 9%. NBA players, NFL players, NHL players are getting close to 50%. The freaking UFC, that treacherous cesspool of entertainment, they're even getting 18% as athletes in that sport. And you're going to tell me that the women aren't worth at least 15, at least twice what they're getting now at 9%, get them to 18%. You got people who play basketball in the WNBA that make less than the UPS driver. And you're trying to tell me they're not worth more money. And so kudos to them for
I'm not saying, but here, let me be very clear about this. I am not saying they are not worth more money or they don't deserve more money. What I'm saying is y'all little t-shirt protest was y'all need that money from the shirts. Y'all could have kept that money from the shirts, got y'all some snacks or done something else. That was a waste of funds. We all know, we as viewers know you guys deserve more money and you've done well. I just don't think we're there yet. Are we close? Yes. Am I on the side of the bros and this Make America Great Again? I hate black women. I hate lesbians playing WNBA. No, what I'm saying is we are not there yet, but we're absolutely getting there. This past year and this year is going so well, and I'm so glad we are finally getting to that point. But it's the same thing with any company that's been red. Now we're not as red. Now we're kind of black. Okay, cool. Now we got to stay here for a couple of years, and then we can start really paying and recruiting and doing what we need to do. Am I wrong to think that?
The contract, the new contract kicks in 2026. The collective bargaining agreement is now. It's time to negotiate their time. What better time than now is it for the WNBA players to negotiate their time, their money, than when the new contract starts in 2026? It's 2025. So next year, they will be broadcasting and selling more ads across multiple stations, Disney, ESPN, Amazon Prime. It's a huge deal. CBS, they're already there. ESPN, they're already there. So, yeah, this is the time to negotiate that money. And, yeah, they're going to make money in social media. And they're going to make money in endorsements and all of that. But LeBron or anybody else are not relegated to just making money by their own means. They get money by basically being the product. And so people say, well, they're not going to get the money. Well, here's the thing. If they sit out, these contracts you've negotiated with these networks are pointless because you don't have a product. They are the product. Eton Thomas, former NBA player who's now a social media person, there's a crowd who believes WNBA players don't deserve what they're currently getting and feel they should be thankful for what they get. They do get. This same crowd doesn't believe women should have reproductive rights, equal pay in the workplace, or of equal intelligence, or should be believed when they make accusations. The exact same MAGA crowd, and he is absolutely correct. For them to say that they think that these women are not worth what they're getting, it's infuriating, quite candidly, for these nut jobs to even be making those claims. But nut jobs are abundant.
And again, I just want to reiterate, I don't think they don't deserve it. That is not what I'm saying. I think they deserve it. And the funny thing is, a person who I never thought would come out and support them making more money is raggedy ass RG3. We didn't get to talk about his whole drama with
Bob.
Yeah, Bob. Yep, call him Bob. Yeah. We didn't get to talk about his whole issues that he's had over the past few weeks, and that he got called out by Shaq, of all people, who basically told him he got told to shut up by Shaq and by the daughter of Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, sound like you getting a little bit of everything, buddy. And for Shaq to take off his shades and say basically you said to give him a punch in the face. He was like, Shaq's not going to do that. Huh?
He's not only is he shut up, he actually came out on July 21st and said Caitlin Clark and the WNBA players should get more because they have earned it. People who say the WNBA's popularity is only because of Caitlin Clark should be championing the cause for the players to get a better revenue split percentage so Clark can make more than $78,000 a year from the WNBA. And he said this while he's wearing a large black oversized cowboy hat.
We used to refer to people like him like the cheesy rats. He's a cheesy rat. He's a cornball, and it's fine.
It's not fine.
Why is it not fine for him to be a cornball? Yeah,
It's not fine for him to be a cornball because we need to understand who hurt you. You love your mother clearly because he posts his mother, who is a black woman, fully black woman. You love your mom. Your mom did well raising you, apparently. So why do you hate black women so much? I would love to know the reasoning behind it. That's
a
why
different
it's not
conversation,
okay.
and I would love to explore that conversation. I would, because, but you know, one thing I can say is that between Shaq, Ryan Clark, they done brought all the smoke for RG3 that he wants to see.
All the girls.
You know, I don't know why I can't get to the mute to the volume on this joint. So
stop it, bro. You got your job, you got your podcast. Leave my injuries alone. I'm the one calling her and telling her not to respond. Fucking stop it. That's the last time. Okay? Thank you. It's not real hate. If you look around what's going on in this real country, that's hate. This is sports. I'm not supposed to like you. It's a shame that all the stuff you did in your life, you're going to be remembered for your podcast. You're going to be remembered for your podcast. That should tell you you're not that fucking great. I don't want to be remembered for Shaq's Bit podcast. I do not. Like, leave those girls alone. You already spoke on it. Let it go. So what? He hates us so fucking what? I hate you now. But messing with her. Now what? Say something about me. If she's not going to respond because I'm the one calling her and be like, baby, keep it classy. Because she's not soft by any means.
It's you know, I like Shaq, man. I've always liked Shaq. Because Shaq's one of them bullies that actually don't. Shaq is one of those bullies that does more protecting than he does actually bullying. He likes to bully bullies. He does. And so, and I, you know, it's funny. I was watching this. If you haven't watched it, he's got a new Netflix series, 5 episodes, that's currently on Netflix. It's pretty good. It's kind of talking about him, the resurgence of him trying to build up Reebok, but and his son, his relationship with his son. I don't know if you remember, his son had heart surgery, and he was working with and all of that, and so now he's trying to get back in the league.
I remember that.
But
The Chief,
he is
right?
such an affable person. He's such a person. I always say, man, I hope he walks around with a bunch of freaking hand sanitizer because he's quick. He shakes everybody's hand. He greets everybody. And I'm telling you this because he lives in the community. One of his houses he lives is in this community where I live. And so it's nothing to see him, you know, out and about, you know, hanging out with the local sheriff and who's a black guy, local sheriff at Scandrick. He'll be hanging out with him, doing his events with him. He'll do car shows. And I got a buddy of mine who says he bought all the football uniforms for his football team. He's not somebody who's just, you know, hiding out, which a lot of people in the community will not be seeing. And with this situation, he says, okay, RG3, shut your mouth. This next time I see him, I'll punch you in the face. And everybody says, oh, he ain't going to do it. Well, he got enough money. He ain't got enough money. He might catch him in the back and where he can't be seen, punch him in the face and write him a check. I don't know. But the point is, RG3 needs to move on. Stop. That's the point. The point is, move on. Nobody cares about your opinion about Angel Reese anymore. You've already stated your opinion, and we're done with hearing from you about this situation. Leave her alone. She got enough issues to be dealing with you. Anyway. All right. Where are we going? Let me see. Did we cover all our stories today? What else do we do?
I'm looking to check and see if there's any stories that we missed that you would know about, because I know with you is always hit or miss if you actually gonna know what's going on.
Hey man, I know what's going on in my demographic.
So let's talk about what happened in Jacksonville. Let's play that video real quick. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's so funny because let me see, edit, let me see, undo, close tab. Thank you. Here we go. Let me pull that back out. All right, so there's a situation in Jacksonville, Florida, and I want to actually play. I want you guys to hear the sheriff first because he's ridiculous.
Completed. However, as a leader of the
I'm gonna take this back.
social media is not reality. One video clip devoid of context can be very misleading. Given that McNeel never brought this incident to JSO's attention, but rather pushed the cell phone camera footage that he had in his possession since March 5th out on social media, one can only assume, and I'm saying I assume, that he intended to inflame the public. The administrative process is still ongoing, and as such, I will neither defend nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. However, as the leader of this agency, I will not remain silent while important facts and information are buried to advance an anti-police agenda. The truth is, William McNeel Jr., was non-compliant with JSO officers within 21 seconds after he was stopped for multiple civil infractions. His non-compliance quickly rose to the level of criminal resistance to a police officer. McNeel was arrested and pled guilty to resistance.
I'm going to start this over because the audio wasn't running for the audience.
Social media is not reality. One video clip devoid of context can be very misleading. Given that McNeel never brought this incident to JSO's attention, but rather pushed the cell phone camera footage that he had in his possession since March 5th out on social media, one can only assume, and I'm saying I assume, that he intended to inflame the public. The administrative process is still ongoing, and as such, I will neither defend nor commend Officer Bauer's response to resistance until all the facts are known and the investigation is completed. However, as the leader of this agency, I will not remain silent while important facts and information are buried to advance an anti-police agenda. The truth is, William McNeel Jr. was non-compliant with JSO officers within 21 seconds after he was stopped for multiple civil infractions. His non-compliance quickly rose to the level of criminal resistance to a police officer. McNeel was arrested and pled guilty to resisting a police officer without violence. Force absolutely looks ugly. And because all force is ugly, whether or not the officer involved acted within outside JSO policy, that's still what we're investigating. Social media is not reality.
Here's the issue I have with what, and we're going to play also what happened with this. But here's the issue I have with what he said. He's lying. Here's why he's lying. He started off by saying that the gentleman McNeel was holding on to the video and had not released it. And this was basically the first time that he, that he had released it, right? But then the sheriff says the investigation is ongoing. So how is it that this is the first time you're hearing about this? Because what we're seeing right now on the screen is the body cam footage of what happened in that scenario. So for you to sit up here and say that you have not seen what happened is not, you're not being truthful.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that? Absolutely, there's a reason why I'm pulling you over. But one thing, inclement weather, you don't have your lights on. Two things, you're not wearing your seatbelt. This is inclement. Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. Give me your driver's license, registration, proof of insurance. Excuse me? I already told you. Step out of here. Step out of here.
And that's what escalated.
Go ahead, boss. Come out from the 940. Driver distance. Slam the door and lock it. I've already told you. Okay.
This is ridiculous.
Right now you're under arrest for resisting. You understand? You're under arrest for resisting. The longer you take us on, the worse it's going to be. Open the door and exit, or we are going to break window. Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Yep.
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Yep.
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting.
Yep.
Open the door and exit. You are under arrest for resisting. I'm about to break the window. Exit the vehicle now. Exit the vehicle. Show me your hands. What is the reason?
So,
Yes, sir.
Is there a reason why you're popping the door open like that?
I don't have a window.
well, I'm gonna let you respond first.
So he's a sovereign citizen. I watch a lot of body cam footage. It's my weird addiction. Don't ask why. It's a weird, stupid thing that I watch. I watch these videos all the time. White, black,
Can we
Hispanic.
not go there? Because did you read something that says he said he's a sovereign citizen, or did you just?
It's
make
the
that
script. The script.
Huh?
The
Go
script.
ahead, but I don't agree. I don't agree with that. But go ahead. Make
So I've seen these videos 1,000 times across all states. Florida handles sovereign citizens extremely differently because they've had multiple officers be shot on these types of stop of sovereign citizens where I don't have to give my ID while I'm being stopped. I don't have to do this. I don't have to be doing that. And you can see the officers. You cannot close your door on an officer. Whether you like it or not, whether he's wrong, whatever, you cannot do that. You hand them your ID, or when you close the door, he couldn't close the door because he couldn't roll the window down. So
he opened the door because he couldn't roll his. He told the officer that he couldn't roll the window down, and so he asked for a supervisor because he didn't feel that the officer. Now here's the thing. That's not
a requirement. Really quick to people watching the show. That it's not. Don't.
My dad's a cop now. Think about who you're talking to. Yeah, but go ahead.
It's not a requirement for them to get. It's not a law requirement for them to give you a sergeant or an officer in charge. It is a courtesy. The only thing they absolutely have to do that can get them in a ton of trouble is they don't identify themselves. That is absolutely mandatory for them to identify by themselves. Giving you a supervisor. That's not required. It's not.
Well, I'll be interested to investigate
in Florida,
in
at least it's not a
Florida, and Duval County. But my challenge with this is that as I watched this video, and of course, what I initially saw did not include the entire context in comparison. Mind you, the first part of the video we saw was the Jacksonville sheriff, I'm assuming, and then you going into the situation.
Yep.
The reason why he was stopped, the pavement was dry. The lights, it was during the day. So off top, that reason for stopping him was bogus. Yeah, but he took it too far, in my opinion, in not complying. The problem I have with the situation is the excessive force, right? Mm-hmm. First of all, the first thing you do when you open up his door is punch him in the face.
Yep, that shouldn't have happened. And so other videos I've watched, it's never happened.
Right, you punched him in the face. You pulled him out, you put his face down, and you pressed his face down with your hand on concrete, on asphalt in the summertime in Florida. You shouldn't do it at any time. But you're making a point at this point to humiliate this man and cause him bodily harm.
That is not what happened. If you watch the video, he should have never gotten hit in the face. That absolutely was so ridiculous.
He absolutely got his face pushed in the asphalt.
So when he got pulled out of the car, he started to resist. And you can see that in the video. If you want to play the video back, he started to resist. He is on the floor telling them, I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Why are y'all doing it? I didn't do anything wrong. And starts to resist being arrested. Now, should all of those officers even showed up in general? I've seen other sovereign citizen videos where they don't all show up. Some have had more. It depends. It varies, blah, blah, blah. But let's not just act like he was being compliant because he was very serious about it.
I didn't say he wasn't being compliant. He was not being compliant. He did absolutely get his face mushed down on that concrete. That happened.
He did. He also resisted arrest.
But that doesn't give you the right to push your hand down and push somebody's face. That's not necessary. To push anybody's face down in the asphalt.
It shouldn't, but we're acting. Here's the problem that I have with Black people right now with these types of incidents. We're acting like he was sitting there, he gave his ID, and he still got punched in the face, got dragged on the ground. That is not what happened. And that's what makes it hard for people to be for me to be on a cop side or be on this guy's side. Everybody here sucks. Everybody here sucks. Everybody did their side stupidly and poorly. He was doing the most, didn't need to close his door. Him getting punched in the face was completely unnecessary because the window was already broken. Well, what are you punching him in the face for?
Because you're pissed off, because he showed you up. And so you have no de-escalation skills. You are all about making a point. And that's the part that really makes a lot of us not trust these situations, because when it's all said and done, you can slam him up against that car, you can put them handcuffs on him, and then you are arresting someone for not having lights on in the rain. And so it's just, go ahead.
He recorded this. He put this out there. I know what his intentions are. I know what his goal is. He's going to sue. He's going to get a little bit of money. He's going to put this on his YouTube channel. This is the same. They do this all the time.
But you make so light of this. Like if you don't record these incidents, if you don't record these type of incidents, who knows what would have happened to this young man?
What do you mean? So the body cam footage would have magically disappeared, and then nobody would have gotten it, and then
so I'll be interested to know when that body cam footage was released. Was it released before he released his video?
No, it was probably released when, well, it can be requested by anybody. Like, we could probably find that body cam footage on somebody's YouTube channel randomly, because anybody can put in a Freedom of Information Act and get the body cam footage. He could have requested it whenever he wanted to. They don't, here's the thing about body cam footage, and everybody should know this. They don't have to release it. Anybody can request it.
So
Ben
the
Crump can
point,
request it.
so to your point, if nobody, first of all, they've already had instances where, oh, my body cam footage mysteriously got cut off or didn't record, and so now people are encouraged to have your own recording, right? So that you can make sure that you
Who's
can
encouraging them to do that?
do what?
Where is that encouragement posted at? Who's encouraging them to do that, to have their own footage?
I'm encouraging anybody to get stopped by the police to have their own footage. Why
We're
wouldn't you?
doing it. Okay. got
Why
it.
wouldn't you? Who's not encouraging people to record their own incidents when you have all of these type of incidents where people are being assaulted by police? And then it's a he said, she said type of situation. There's situations now when he pulls this young man out of his car after punching him in the face.
He is resisting right there.
That
Then they
is
get him
him
to the
slamming
ground.
his head, pushing his head down on asphalt and holding it down.
Okay. Okay.
So that's unnecessary. It's absolutely unnecessary for you to do that. It's just,
And the problem I'm
ahead.
having is that there are so many people in the Black community who think that they're, as Black people, because we have had so many issues with police officers, that we can do no wrong. And I guess I feel so passionately because, again, all day long while I'm working, I listen to body cam footage. It is stupid. It is obnoxious. I don't know why I do it. I don't know why my brain is fixated on it. So I hear it and see it all the time. I watch Audit the Audit. You should watch. I think you would really enjoy watching Audit the Audit.
What is
Audit the Audit?
at the audit? What is that?
No, Audit the Audit. So what
Audit
Audit
the
the
Audit,
Audit
okay.
does, it looks at all body cam footage and grades it from the person's side and the police officer's side. So there's a lot of videos out there that will show the whole scenario, and then the auditor, who's a lawyer, will say the police officers in this scenario get an F because this person didn't do anything wrong because of blah, 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 blah reason. Or the officer gets a B+. They could have done this better, but they did all these things right. This person was stupid. I like Audit the Audit because to me, it gives a fair and balanced thing. So I watch these videos all the time. And I see that the first thing a lot of Black people do, and it annoys me, is they go, "Oh, you're only pulling me over because I'm Black. You're only bothering me because I'm Black." It's not that you're driving with no insurance, expired tag, and no license. You're just pulling me over because I'm Black.
But you don't know that person has. Now, you will know about the tags. If they pull up their tag, they'll know if the tags are expired. They will not know if they don't have insurance until they pull them over.
How that works is the car is registered to a person. They pull it once your registration is pulled, that name is pulled for the license. And sometimes they find out you don't own this car. So you can either call the person that owns it or we're going to tow it because you don't even, this is not your vehicle.
But see, the challenge I have with that argument is this. It starts with pulling them over in the first place, right? So you have to profile someone to decide something about that person makes me want to stop them and investigate them. There are millions of cars that are driving on the road every day, all day.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it is Black folks who are the ones who are being pulled over. In this case, because he didn't have his lights on during the day, is why this whole incident is because he didn't have his lights on during the day, which they claim it was because of bad weather. We looked at the video. It was an overcast. The concrete was not wet. Right. And so you say to yourself, if he has, but it didn't come up where, because at that point, after you pull you over, what do? They run the tags. Oh, the tags are fine. Okay. But I'm still going to investigate and talk to this person. That's when you figure out. Now, if you pull him over and he says why did you pull me over? Your tags are expired. Boom. Dude, you're wrong. Give it to him. Go get the citation. Go on about your business. Right. Now, mind you, he still was out of line in the way that he responded to a degree. My problem is that this was lights. This was lights. And
now,
it was
no
all
one is
said
saying
and
that
done.
your argument is right. The reason why he was pulled over was dumb. Unless he got pulled over, for example, I got pulled over coming out of my cousin's neighborhood, leaving my cousin's house. I left my cousin's house because I was dropping off food. My cousin does unsavory things. I got pulled over. I think I went a block and got pulled over.
Okay.
And they said, "Oh, you ran the stop sign." I was like, "I know I didn't run the stop sign. I know I didn't run the stop sign." So what's up? Well, what's going on? And then they.
So that was your response to the police in that moment. You know, you didn't run a stop sign. What's up? Is that what you said? That was your response?
Yes, that was my response. I was like,
so what's the difference in your response and his response?
What's up? Because I still either were like, well, let me get your license and registration. Here's my stuff. And I once again said, what's up? What happened? What's going on? And they were like, well, you just came from so-and-so area. So-and-so area is known for drugs. I said, yes, I came from my cousin's house. Do I need to give his name? That's what I said. Like, do I need to give his name? And they're like, no, you don't need to. But we need to search the vehicle.
No, they don't.
And I was like,
only because you were coming from a neighborhood that's known. That's profiling. Because you came from a neighborhood that was known to have activity. You're minding your business. And here's the thing. You still had an opportunity after you said to them, your initial response was, I know I didn't run that stop sign. They could have escalated that in that moment and didn't even give you the opportunity to do the license registration thing. Right? Well, okay, yeah. So, but the point is, the point is that
I get what you're saying.
And you're saying in the audit and all this type, and I'm not watching all that stuff. You can enjoy. You can give me the play-by-play. But no. But the point is that, yes, we are profiled. And mind you, as my kids get older, as my daughter now being an adult in the big city, we've had these conversations. This shit still pisses me off.
And I guess I have a different aspect about it because I watch these videos and I see what happens with the white people.
And what happens?
And how bad those go. And how they get ripped out of cars too. And the Hispanic ones are way worse. I've seen those videos because they don't speak English and they're automatically profiled. And sometimes those people weren't, in those body cam footage, they're not driving. Police officers were going to their houses because they had an American girlfriend who was angry at them, who said that they were being abused when it wasn't true. So now they're yelling at the Hispanic guy who can't really say anything back because he doesn't speak English. It's like, I just, because I listen to
I would agree. I would assume the profiling is much worse in this day and age with the Hispanic community because they looking to wear these people out, man. It's crazy. So anyway, man, this is wild. We'll follow this suit. Jacksonville is our former home. We know people out there, so I'm gonna.
And I will be back. I'm going back on the 1st to Jacksonville.
For what?
We are having a mini end of summer family vacation. Me, my family, my mom, and a lot of my family members were getting a house, not in Jacksonville, but St. Augustine, but I still feel like I'm close. So we're going to go there, and I haven't been there in forever, so I'm super excited about that. But let's talk about some fun stuff. Have you seen Superman yet?
No. We're not doing how what? You have no how what?
Yes, I do have one how what, and it's the how what that I don't even know which how what to go to. Do you want to go to the Coldplay concert or do you want to go to the Colbert show being canceled?
Do you have video of the Coldplay concert? Because do you have that?
I can get it.
All right, so let's go to the Coldplay concert because now I saw in Atlanta at the baseball game, they had the Coldplay cam.
I know, it's so funny. They're making jokes about it now.
So the story is that Coldplay concert. You found
video.
It? Go ahead and pull it up on your screen if I don't get it before you.
My audio doesn't work. I just posted it into the guest chat.
Oh, okay. All right, cool. So go ahead, talk about it as I pull it up.
So what happened was the CEO of Astronomer and his head of HR were caught at the Coldplay concert because Coldplay does a whole segment where rewind from the beginning so people can see what happened.
This video caught two
here's
the software company allegedly having an affair after being spotted on a kiss cam during a Coldplay show in Boston on Wednesday. The clip of the pair quickly spread across social media platforms, and people were quick to identify the pair as company astronomer, chief executive Andy Byron, and the chief people officer Kristen Cabot. People then realized the pair were both married, but to other people. Byron's LinkedIn account, which has now been deleted, was flooded with comments from people making jokes about the incident. Following the fallout, Byron's wife allegedly removed his last name from her Facebook profile. According to a now deleted LinkedIn post, it appears as though Cabot only started at the company 7 months ago. Neither Byron, Cabot, nor the company have publicly responded to the incident.
So, God.
Why did they think doing that was going to not make people notice them? But it has been a huge fallout in a funny way. So the fallout is now that Coldplay is now telling people, hey, this kiss cam coming around. Y'all need to be prepared or tell y'all girlfriends to sit, y'all mistresses to sit down. But it's coming around, be prepared, which makes people laugh. And then, like you saw the Atlanta Braves game, people are now mocking it, and they're like sitting there with their boyfriend and going, "Oh my god." Oh my God. So,
they even had a situation where the mascots. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
That mascot thing got me. And listen, the reason why this is a what is because I do feel bad for the wife. But listen, again, I always like to give the hoe facts from back in the day. I always like to give the gold digger, the gold digger laws. You can't take your side chick to certain places. Super fancy restaurants you can't do. Well, not in your same city. You also can't take your side chick to a concert in your city. That's dumb. You take her to a concert in a place that nobody knows you. Also, if the kiss can comes on you, y'all just wave politely. No one would have cared.
They would have done that if they wasn't all snuggled up like they was teenagers. They was waving and swaying to the music.
Let's play devil's advocate. They stand there, they're cuddling, they see the kiss cam, they wave. Would anybody have noticed nor cared? Would this have gone viral?
Absolutely. No, maybe not.
How?
Maybe not.
Okay.
They might have got away with it if they wouldn't have had that visceral response. But it's social media. Somebody would eventually be like, hold on, Mary, isn't that your husband?
Yes, somebody would have noticed it in 3 or 4 days and probably posted like, I think this is astronomer CEO. People in the comment section, who the hell is the CEO of astronomer? Why the hell do we care about that? Like, who cares? So what? Yeah. The wife would have divorced him. It would have been quiet. Now he has been, him and that lady and his wife and the other lady, head of HR, is also married with kids. Everybody's out here embarrassed.
Wow. All right. So was there something? There was another what that you were talking about. What else was you ready to? Oh,
Stephen Colbert got fired.
Stephen Colbert, the late night show, and he came out and did a rant. So Stephen Colbert, CBS, and this all comes back to the 60 Minutes thing and Paramount and them being suckers and giving Trump $60 million and basically kowtowing to him. And so, God, man, we are in the midst.
But you're canceling the show that's been on the air for 33 years and has great ratings. And their reasoning coming out was, oh, it's costing us $40 million. No, it's not. Like, you don't have to lie to kick it, Craig. This show is not costing you guys $40 million a year. It's not. Stop it.
You know, this is where we are. They thought it was just about the blacks and the browns, and now they're coming after the whitest
everybody.
of the whites.
I'm sorry. I know this is going to be a really crazy thing to say, but we are living in... This is so bad. We're living in practically Nazi Germany in the 1930s and 40s. Like, we're living in a world where Henry Goebbels is the one who's running the PR campaign for Trump and just pushing out propaganda, and we're canceling anybody who's in any dissent. Like, this is where we are, and it's very scary. If you don't know who Goebbels is,
I need to talk to a historian because I just wonder, like, we hear so much about how bad it was, but was it?
Sorry, Joseph Goebbels, not Henry Goebbels. Sorry.
Got it. Were there many people just living on the other side of town while all this stuff was going on in Nazi Germany, or and just wasn't affected day to day? Because this is where we are, right? As bad as it is, like, I haven't seen in local Home Depot, ice raids or things, right? I'm seeing this stuff all on TV and on the internet. But when I think about what's going on, like you said, the point you made about we being in perilous times, it's just, my God, I just, you don't want this stuff at your doorstep, but the U.S. is such a vast, big old nation. That's part of the reason why it's just, there's a lot of people who, until it hits themselves, it's hard to see if they're going to pay attention to what's going on. But to your point, we are in the midst of, and we just praying none of this stuff hits us square in between the eyes. All right, let's move on.
Really quick, we're done with the show, but really quick, what I do want you to watch when you get a chance while you're working, I do want you to watch the one progressive versus 20 far right conservatives with Mehdi Hassan.
Yeah, I've seen clips of him. So I guess this show, what is this show? Jubilee, I guess. Is it the same show, or are they using the format? Because I see Candace Owens has done something too. Is it the same show, or is she using the same format?
No, Jubilee is a channel, and they do this thing called Surrounded, where it's one person. So in Candace's situation, it was one conservative female versus 20 feminists. In Mehdi's
so it was Jubilee Candace is on. It was the same channel.
Yes, it's the same
Got it.
channel. And it's
Got
an
it.
interesting concept, but this is the first one that has gone super viral. Everybody has been like, these people are Nazis. I'm not mixing words. I'm not being funny. When you watch it, you will understand, but you definitely should check it out, Miguel.
Yeah, no, I'm going to check it out. I know it's a long commitment because most of those shows are hour and a half. When they have these programs, I did see it pop up. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. But anyway, all right, y'all. I'll be out in these basketball streets here, and today is that. Peace and love. Peace and bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.